Today on Us Weekly's Reality Recap, we break down the most shocking moments on Vanderpump Rules' secrets revealed. Plus, Tom Schwartz is permanently stepping away from Sandoval. Lala Kent clarifies her statements about feeling bad for Raquel. And Stassi is defending Tom. Plus, Andy Cohen backtracks on his comments about Raquel's mental health. We've got that plus so much more on today's Us Weekly Reality Recap. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi with Us Weekly, executive producer Mandy Camp. And while Vanderpump isn't on our TV screens anymore like it used to be, it's still full-on Sandoval madness.
I know. Can I be like Tom Schwartz and permanently step away from Sandoval? Because I'm done. I'm ready to put this to bed.
Seriously, I'm ready to put this to bed. But we had our Vanderpump Secrets Revealed show, so there's a little bit more drama to talk about.
Yes.
And a lot of news this week and a lot of comments about last week's show. So let's get into it. Cornelia England saying, I think that the show can survive without Sandoval. And watching Jax and Brittany, I think they could be the adults in the room. I also think that maybe Jax can buy out Sandoval and he and Schwartz can maybe run the bar. Also, there could be Sandoval crawling his way back to them and trying to change, which I totally doubt. I just pray Rachel gets wonderful therapy and then goes on to help children like she mentioned years ago. Okay. I don't know about Jax buying out Sandoval. I don't think Sandoval would ever give this up.
I don't see it either. I also feel like if you're going to replace him with someone a little bit more likable than Jax Taylor.
Yes, no, totally. If
you're going to go through all that effort.
Right.
All right, well, we had another commenter say something a little bit controversial, but I'm going to read it. She said, or he, I'm not sure, said, yes, I want to see everyone back in the show. I want to see Ariana have to suffer through seeing them together, like Kristen had to suffer through watching Ariana and Tom together. Look, Ariana got a lot of endorsements off this. She literally put in no work on season 10 besides being an ostrich and co-signing for Rachel and Tom blindly. She had no empathy for Kody and really hasn't put in any work in past seasons since she stole Sandoval from Kristen and rubbed it in her face on a daily. Ariana showed very little emotion during the reunion and moved on with lightning speed with a new man. Kody, Chyna, and even the evil snake Rachel put in more work during season 10 than Ariana. That is a hot take from one of our.
That is a hot take, and like a couple people actually agreed, like in the comments as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess she did move on pretty quickly, but when somebody burns you that bad, I guess you're not going to spend a lot of time, harping about the past. I don't know. I mean. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yes, I did think, well, she is moving on a little bit fast, but not really when you think about the full timeline of it all. Like, I feel like one, they were kind of disconnected a long, long time ago, but then also she found out before we all did. So not that much far before.
Right. It was quick, but I mean, she has put in the work, but I mean, I guess to the point, I mean, she did move on with Tom, and that was in Kristen's face for a little while, but I don't think you can really compare the two. Like,
no, I don't either.
Ariana and Raquel were best friends. She vouched for this girl. She let her in her home. Like, it was two totally different scenarios, and this was going on for 8 months. It's a bit different
situations, right. But we still love to hear all your takes. So keep them coming.
Yeah.
They keep us quite entertained.
They do. The next one goes to, hey, it's Jazz saying Raquel is the type of person that holds everything inside until it's her breaking point. Them laughing afterwards is something you do after you've been yelled at for hours. It's normal. Life goes on. And Tom was attacking people because they were attacking him. And sorry, but Raquel doesn't cry as easily as Chyna does. That girl cries for everything. People show their emotions differently. It definitely seems like watching back looking back at these comments after they watched the finale, it seems like a lot more people have some more empathy for Raquel. After the show.
I mean, even some of the cast had empathy for her after that episode and after they watched the interview she did after. I mean, I agree. That's actually a good point that I haven't personally thought about, that like not everyone does cry that easily. Mm-hmm. I cry pretty easily. If I was a reality star, I'd probably be crying every episode over something.
Seriously, I wouldn't last an hour.
But some people don't cry that easily. But maybe buy some Visine or something just to show a little bit more emotion. I don't
know.
And then finally, another comment. DRX6139 said, I think the big revelation was a flop, but I think it was meant for Tom, and the producers wanted to evoke a little sympathy for Rachel, that maybe she wasn't being coached and manipulated by Tom. She's not the smartest rock, but I think she was sick of lying, and it was important for her to clear the air so she could save face a little and garner a little sympathy, giving her path back to the show next season. Even though I don't think she should do reality TV, it's just hard to take her breakdown seriously when she was laughing with Tom when she was going to exit. Yeah.
I think a lot of people maybe agree that reality TV may not be for Raquel in the future. And that's
I go to say Rachel now.
I know, me too. It's like, now it's Rachel. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I'm like, wait, which one is it?
Right. But I do. I feel like a lot of people agree with that. And so does Lala as well.
Yeah.
She opened up in her podcast about Raquel and about a certain storyline that wasn't properly wrapped up during season 10 of Vanderpump Rules or at the reunion. Mm-hmm. She said during an episode of her Give 'Em Lala podcast that information is sometimes brought up on camera that cast members may not want addressed. She said, I was in that position this season, and I'm not going to say what it was, but when Andy asked the question about whether my friendship with Chyna affected me and Kody, there were things that were said on everyone's part. And I remember Kody and I made eye contact, and I made eye contact with Chyna, and I was like, I can't control either of you right now, just like you guys can't control the rest of us. She added, and I was like, this could be something that comes out. And again, no one talked about it. When we wrapped for lunch, I said to Kody, that made me nervous. And she said, I wasn't going to say a thing. So wonder what exactly that could be, because, you know, Chyna and Kody weren't on the best of terms. Lala was kind of caught in between, but I really wonder like what happened in between that. And then she also went on to clarify the comments when she said that she felt dirty after she kind of attacked Raquel during the reunion. She clarified that, said that she stands by what she said, saying, where I felt for Raquel was when you're filming a reality show, in my mind, every single person is mentally equipped to handle whatever is going to come out of my mouth. The second you throw someone in there that cannot handle it, you're making it so I can't do my job. So yeah, maybe like we were saying, this just does not seem for Raquel anymore.
No, but also like, that's a ridiculous comment to say that like everyone should be equipped to handle anything that comes out of my mouth.
Right.
Or you shouldn't be a reality star.
That's true.
That's just, it's very Lala, I guess.
It's very Lala, but yeah, no, but then it comes to the point, it's like, I don't know. It's like, are you being a bully then? Because like you just think that you can say whatever you want, and that's not really how it works. I don't know. I'm so torn by all of this.
No, like I almost feel like maybe that was the farewell season and we should just
go out on top. Yeah, no, I agree, because it's like, really, where do we go from here? I'm not, because the show was not doing well before all of this. Nobody was, I mean, the ratings were kind of terrible. And we thought maybe after season 9 that this wasn't going to come back, because I think the ratings were like kind of abysmal, but I don't know.
Yeah,
strange.
We'll see. All right. Well, Stassi is weighing in on the continued backlash towards Tom Sandoval. The Bravo alum spoke about the lasting impact of Sandoval on the Wednesday episode of Call Her Daddy podcast, explaining that she isn't a fan of the way Sandoval has been treated online due to her own experience in the public eye. She said, I've been in a position where I've received so much hate before. I don't like where we're at in a society. That's how we punish people. It's like emotionally beheading people. She went on to say, who's to decide what the punishment should be? Like, who makes someone the authority on that? What makes the person on their computer the authority on what they think is enough hate for him to receive? I don't get down with that. I don't like it. She went on to say that she still thinks his behavior was disgusting and her feelings have not changed, but she doesn't always believe the online vitriol is warranted. So yeah, I stand by Stassi's comments there. And she obviously knows firsthand what it was like to be, to have the aftermath of a scandal on the show.
No, I totally agree. And I mean, it's insane that this has been going on since March and and now we're in June. Like usually a story dies down and kind of like exits the news cycle. This really hasn't, probably because the show has been on. It'll be interesting to see if it kind of dies down now that the show is over. But no, the online beheading, as she said, has really been intense. I can't imagine.
Definitely.
All right. Well, this was some comic relief, and this was amazing. I absolutely love this so much. So John Hamm and John Slattery's Vanderpump Rules reenactment was so Emmy worthy that even James Kennedy had to praise their performances. He captioned the clip, "John Hamm, you legend. This is crazy. I love John Hamm. What a legend." So John Hamm and John Slattery appeared on Watch What Happens Live this week. They played James Kennedy, while John Hamm played James Kennedy, while John Slattery portrayed Tom Sandoval. They read dialogue from the reunion. It was absolutely epic. So take a quick look.
Get in my face again and I will f you up, motherfucker.
See, bitch, you're a worm with a mustache.
You've had the same haircut for years.
Yeah, I'll be quiet for Tweedledee and Tweedledittle Dick. I'm gonna get us sent for a timeout, get a spank bottom Andy at lunchtime.
He sounds just like him, like the worm with the mustache. He sounds just like James Kennedy. It's crazy.
Wait, was that not a voiceover?
No, it wasn't a voiceover. That was him.
What?
Yes.
4 times.
So good.
That's okay. He absolutely deserves an Emmy. I thought he was just like lip syncing it.
No, that's him.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
First of all, I love John Hamm, like love him. So anything he does is perfect to me, but like this was so good, combining two of my favorite worlds.
So good. And he said, I think it was either on Watch What Happens Live or the Today Show, that he is a Vanderpumper. So like he loves the show. He told Andy Cohen that that Andy was the one that really kind of introduced him to Housewives and Vanderpump, but he is all in. He said, I'm digging in with both hands. Like he is all in on all the Bravo shows. And I love this so much.
I love it when a real celebrity, not like another reality star, but like a real celebrity watches these shows like we do. It makes me just super happy.
I love it so much.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Andy Cohen, he addressed his speculatory comments about Raquel being heavily or really medicated at the Vanderpump Rules reunion after her ongoing stay at a mental health treatment facility. He explained on his radio show, I think it was maybe wrong of me to speculate on that, but to me, she sat there and she took it all on the chin like a champ. Those people all had stuff to say to her and they were relentless, and she just sat there and took it. Andy said that Raquel's lack of emotion felt like a sign of something bigger, adding, I didn't know that she would be able to get through the reunion, which is probably why I hypothesized that. Given my years of experience in these forums, I would have thought maybe she would have walked off way sooner and maybe walked into her car, never to having been seen again. Little odd comment.
Yeah.
The host's initial commentary about Raquel made waves earlier this month as he broke down the Vanderpump Rules reunion in a video with Variety. He had said, I was worried for Raquel's mental health going into the reunion. I mean, I still am, but actually when I saw how unemotional she was, it made me think she was really medicated or really out of touch with her role and everything. I mean, I remember when I saw that comment, I was like, he's going to retract that one.
Yeah, he's going to regret that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to give it to her. I mean, she did sit there. She did take it. She did, she didn't walk off, which like a lot of people do during reunion. So, I mean, you got to give it to her there. I mean, yes, people didn't like her reactions and maybe what she had to say, but she showed up and she did her job, and she is getting the help that hopefully she needs right now. I mean, we haven't heard from her for a while.
I kept saying like Sandoval was so combative at the reunion. She really wasn't. She really just sat there and took it, which could not have been easy, whether or not, she's not a good person or whatever you think. It's not easy to sit there and take all that.
Definitely not. All right, moving over to Tom Schwartz. He opened up about the challenges he's faced in the aftermath of Sandoval. He said during an episode of Stars on Mars, my friend had an affair that just happened to sweep the nation, and it's incredibly messed up. But the thing is, I've become mired in it. It became a huge source of just angst in my life, and I've been in this extended funk. He recalled his own involvement in the cheating scandal, said he had this torrid affair. It's horrible, and I feel complicit because I didn't cover for him, but I had his back. He came to me and confided in me that he was in love with someone else. He went on to say that he was stepping away from all the drama permanently, saying any sort of version of Sandoval's side of the story has become obsolete because of the way he handled it. And ultimately, that's his life. I did not have an affair. I am not him. And it's just so strange that I've been absolutely mired in this. Obviously, Schwartz has faced a lot of backlash in all of this. And it's interesting that he is now kind of removing himself from the situation when he has been so involved in it and having Tom's back for so long. I feel like this is his only option. Like if he wants to way forward with any of the other people in this friend group, you got to drop Tom.
Absolutely. And if you want, sponsorships or opportunities on other shows like Stars on Mars, you got to kind of separate yourself. And it is true. They're adults. I mean, I think Tom Sandoval's 40 years old. He's not Tom Schwartz as much as, we've painted them together in this, best friendship for so long. They're not the same person. And I don't think he should take any kind of the same blame that Tom Sandoval.
No, I don't think so either, because I mean, he was put in such a weird and impossible situation. It's like, do you betray your best friend and go and tell his girlfriend that she's having an affair? Like he was put in a really uncomfortable position, and it's hard for him to kind of navigate out of this. But I'm sure he's probably pissed off too that like Tom has been on tour with his band while he's just sitting there trying to pick up the pieces for this restaurant or these 2 bars that they have. I would be pissed off too.
Totally. And let us know in the comments, is anyone watching Stars on Mars?
Yeah, I just totally forgot about that.
Me too. I'm not watching, sorry.
No, not watching Stars on Mars.
Too much. We have too much.
Right. Well, we did watch the Vanderpump Rules Secrets Revealed episode. So there were some interesting nuggets in all of this, especially the day after Guys Night with Raquel bringing flowers to Ariana because her dog just died. And this was 12 hours after she first hooked up with Tom. What? Oh my God. I can't believe it.
It's honestly unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Right. And she walks in, she hugs him, and he's like, oh, it's been so long since I've seen you. I barely recognize you. Well, come on.
It's like she's scripting a romance novel or something. She's living in some twisted world where this is okay.
Yeah. It's bizarre to me. It really is. It's so bizarre. And then the cringe roller skating date with Ariana talking about how much she loves Raquel and nobody can convince her otherwise because she's such a great person. And then Tom's just sitting there with the sweating.
Yes. No one but Raquel can convince her otherwise. I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy to me. And him just telling Ariana how great she looks and how hot she is. And meanwhile, you're just going behind her back doing all of this. It's crazy. And then Chyna and Raquel having that conversation where Raquel's like, I can't believe I'm being labeled as the home wrecking whore of the group.
It's delusional, I think. I don't understand how she's using these phrases that pretty much exactly describe her in that moment and just living this lie. It's very strange.
It is so strange. And then we see kind of the timeline of everything, how everything kind of unfolded once Ariana found out about it. James was still texting Sandoval because he didn't know that this secret had come out yet. And James is texting Sandoval moments after this happened. And James is like, oh yeah, homeboy, no big deal. You didn't have to come to my show. It's just the way that these two acted is just so crazy to me.
It really is. It's almost I don't know. I sometimes toy with the idea of they have to realize that this was going to eventually come out, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they act like it was never going to come out.
Right. And Lala knew. I mean, she said during the episode, something is going on between them. And it was there was no denying it. It was interesting to see, Tom, and I kind of wish we saw more of this in the beginning of the season, the aftermath of Tom and Katie's split, because we see them still living together during this episode. And, Katie telling Tom that she started dating again and him kind of breaking down about this. So, we didn't really see too much of that because I think just, we were so consumed with, Sandoval and everything like that. And Raquel and Schwartz hooking up in the beginning. But I wish we kind of saw a little bit more of that dynamic and the fallout of their relationship. Yeah,
I agree. I think that if Sandoval hadn't happened, I think that would have been a big focus of the season. But
yeah. Well, that is it. Vanderpump is done. Done.
I wouldn't say it's done.
Right. It's done for now until cameras start rolling in a few weeks. Who knows? We don't really know.
Yeah.
Well, time for our social spotlight of the week. Who caught your attention on social media?
All right, mine goes to James Kennedy. He posted this video of him walking on some kind of divider outside of SUR to a crazy large crowd. I guess if they were coming to see him DJ for See You Next Tuesday, I assume. But yeah, people are fanning over him like he's Harry Styles.
It's crazy. He is literally living his best life. It really is unbelievable. So mine went to Stassi because she had a fun girls' night out with Katie, Christina Kelly, Lala, and the caption was sober, breastfeeding, pregnant, Katie. So it seems like they had a fun night out. And this was actually when they went to go see Something About Her for the first time. So Stassi gave some behind the scenes looks at it, and it looks amazing. It looks beautiful.
It does.
It's much more than a sandwich shop.
Way more than a sandwich shop. And I'm happy to see it's looking like a success.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of a Reality Recap. Let us know in the comments, where does Vanderpump go from here? There's so many questions, and we'll have to wait a couple more months to see the answers for all of this, but we'll be recapping it every step of the way. So keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.